Hi guys, recently I made this authentic Tagliatelle Bolognese and it was so straightforward and delicious. It does take a lot of cooking though because I used minced chuck steak, which requires long cooking but has such a meaty flavour, it's like adding a rich stock cube. In Italy, spaghetti bolognese isn't a thing. Bolognese sauce or ragu is only ever served with wider pasta like tagliatelle or pappardelle, or in this traditional lasagna that I made as well. You can find the link to that recipe in the description below. Start off by heating 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a heavy, large saucepan and add 30 grams of unsalted butter. This might seem like a lot, but it'll feed a lot of people, probably 5 generously. Once the butter is melted and foaming, go ahead and add 100 grams of unsmoked pancetta lardons or streaky bacon. Then cook for about 2 minutes over a high heat, stirring continuously. Next, add 1 onion that's been finely chopped and stir and cook until it's just beginning to soften. Now add 1 finely chopped carrot, 1 finely chopped stick of celery, and the recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic, but I'm using about 5 here, finely chopped. I think it can take it. Add 2 bay leaves, turn the heat down to medium and let it cook for about 10 minutes, stirring frequently. 10 minutes later, go in with that minced chuck steak. I'm using about 400 grams of it. Now turn the heat up to high and break up that meat as best you can with a wooden spoon. Chuck steak is a lot of fibrous connective tissue which takes a long time to melt down, but once it does, it'll really baste the meat and give such a meaty, beefy flavour. So after a few minutes, the beef should be all broken down and nicely brown all over, so go in with a good few tablespoons of tomato puree. That's about 3 tablespoons. So now cook for another 2 minutes over a high heat and stir the tomato puree into the beef. Now add 150 millilitres of red wine. I'm using Pinot Noir, but just use one that you like so that you'll have the rest of the bottle to drink over dinner. And let that come to the boil and let it all evaporate off before you remove your bay leaves. Now add 150 millilitres of good chicken stock. Give a little pinch of sea salt flakes, about half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a small grating of fresh nutmeg or a little pinch of the powdered stuff. Mix that in well, then turn the heat down to the lowest possible setting and let it simmer uncovered for 2 hours, stirring occasionally. 2 hours later, it should be nice and reduced and the flavour intensified, so go ahead and take it off the heat while you cook your pasta or prep your lasagna. To cook the pasta, bring a large pot of salted water to the boil and add in 450 grams of dried tagliatelle. Check your packet instructions because pasta takes different times to cook, but this took me between 9 and 11 minutes to boil. Then just pass it through a strainer and add it into your bolognese sauce. Then just mix it all up until all the tagliatelle strands are nicely coated with that rich, meaty sauce. I think a pair of tongs is the best way to mix it all up. Then just serve at the table and let everyone help themselves and pass around a wedge of parmesan and let everyone grate it over their plates themselves. Easy as that. I hope you liked this recipe, guys. If you did, be sure to hit the like button below and the subscribe button as well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and be sure to give this recipe a go because it is so delicious. If you do, let me know how you got on social media. You'll find all the links to my accounts in the description below, as well as the link to my video on how to make the lasagna that you saw earlier and the link to my blog where you'll find the full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.